Hi, welcome to Just a Thought, where I talk about various things and issues in K-pop entertainment, American entertainment, and just give my 2 cents on them. So first off, who's our first contestant would be Jay Park, the myth, lack thereof legend, CEO of AOMG, Jay Park. So his issues frame from 4 or 5 years ago, 3 years, like about 3 to 5 years ago. He has been getting into a lot of race-related issues for the past 3 to 5 years. And this situation I'm going to talk about is no different than the ones in the past, because it seems like there's a repeated behavior of him doing this over and over again. So he'll do something that's slightly racist or slightly stereotypical of other races, or something insensitive to someone else's religion, which was the most recent one. Actually, these two situations happened in the same month, and then he'll go on Instagram and say, "Why are you hating?" or Twitter and say, "Why are you hating?" And then when he gets backlash for it, he comes out with another post saying, "Oh, I don't see color. We're all one. I just love people in general. I didn't do anything. I didn't mean it like that." Basically, his apologies consist of, "I'm sorry you feel that way, but here's the way I think." That's what basically it means. But, he likes to write these Twitter rants on Twitter and stuff like that constantly every time he gets into a scandal. And one must think, right, if a person is constantly getting into scandals regarding race-related issues, you would step back and maybe reflect on your actions of what you're doing. You would think, though, if it's the same issue over and over again, some thoughts have to come to your mind, like, okay, maybe this wasn't the best decision I made. But thus far, no change has been made. And after a while, his fans are starting to look stupid, because at this point, it's how long are you defend someone, all their actions? Like, how long are you going to defend someone who keeps making the same mistake? Because his fans will constantly say, "Oh, it's just a mistake. It's just a mistake. Once again, it's a mistake. 3 times it's a mistake. 4 times." How many times are you going to use that excuse for him if he keeps on doing the same BS over and over again? It's always some insensitive remarks or doing something insensitive to someone's culture or someone's race or religion. Like, why do y'all constantly defend this man when he has proved to you time and time again that he is not a good person at all? Because it's another thing of making a mistake even 5 times. Sometimes people can repeatedly make mistakes, but you've been repeating this mistake for about 4 years now. Where's the change? If you've been doing the same thing for 4 years, where's the actual change? Because I ain't seen none. Every time Jay Park gets into a scandal, he does the whole, just like I said before, stop hating on me. Then when he gets backlash, he apologizes and puts this whole rant, whole paragraph like he's writing an essay that ain't nobody feel tired of reading. But to be honest, Jay Park, what it seems like, he has black friends. So which means is that when he be going on these rants on Twitter and when he gets into these scandals, that means that these black friends that he has must be condoning his behavior, because ain't no way, like, how many scandals he getting now, like, in the course of 4 years, maybe about, we're in the teens of his scandals that he's got on race-related issues till now, since like 4 or 3 years ago. And if he has black friends, like, because Cha-Cha Malone ain't saying anything, he clearly got a bunch of yes men around him. Cha-Cha Malone is staying silent. Cha-Cha Malone is still complying. He's not saying nothing. Obviously, Jay Park is in a much more power dynamic relationship, even though they try to make it seem like it's not. But he has much more power. So Cha-Cha Malone probably feels like he can't say anything. Or if he does believe that Jay Park is not doing anything wrong, then that's just his stupidity. They both stupid. Like, if they think that way, they're both stupid. But when are people going to finally say, okay, enough is enough? Like, it's fine, you make a couple of mistakes, but you're still doing them. And I always say, believe the person the first time. Because if you remember, the reason why Jay Park left 2PM, which is a Korean Idol boy group, was because of a scandal, he said, of insensitive comments. You see the pattern? You see the pattern here? So if someone shows you themselves the first time, please believe them. Because at first, people gave a lot of leeway because they felt bad for him. Because what happened is, after that happened, JYP blacklisted him. Then he did a series of diss tracks against. It wasn't really diss tracks like for JYP, but it was like the whole entirety of the diss like of the track wasn't for JYP, but there was a couple of lines and whatnot that were dissing JYP, and he was saying things like, "Oh, you never like to see your idols win, yada yada yada." I'm like, okay, as much as you try to criticize Park Jin Young, which he's trashed him in himself, well, that's a later video. As much as you try to criticize him, y'all up the same alley. Like, y'all could be best friends. Like, I can say both of your names in a sentence, nobody would look at me strangely. Like, y'all both do the same things, but in different ways. You got JYP hopping on the stage back in the day with Koreans dressed in blackface with afros and dancing along with him, wearing them too tight pants he always be wearing. Like, it gives me nightmares just even thinking about it. But you have some nerve criticizing him, which is true, which is the honest to God truth though. JYP does try to outshine his idols all the time, but the fact that it's coming from you, that's interesting to me. After all the nonsense you've done, like, to be honest, like, I don't even think Jay Park deserves his fan base. Like, he does not deserve the people who defend him each and every time. Because each and time again, he makes the same mistakes, and then he comes out with this BS apology, and it repeats it. I can bet you next year or this year, because, you know, we're still in this year. We're still in 2021 now. We still got a good long way to go to 2022. I bet you that Jay Park will get into a race-related scandal or something involving him saying insensitive comments, and I can count on it. Anyone want to make their bets? Because it's like, what is it with him? Like, why does he feel the need to do these things? Like, for what though? He was trying to showcase what Korean hip-hop truly was. I didn't see nothing that represents what Korean hip-hop was. All it was is a caricature of African American artists, rap artists and hip-hop artists in the US, in the in Canada, but primarily the US, because, you know, hip-hop was born and raised in the US. But yeah, that's all I see. Like, what was I supposed to be looking at? Like, what would make me go, okay, yeah, that's Korean. Like, that's Korean hip hop. There was nothing in there. Like, what did you showcase? It just looked like you were just imitating someone else's culture and music. Like that's what it looked like to me. Like, no matter how I looked at it, like, I try to look at it different. Like no, like, there's no how else people are supposed to look at this. He did a remix to, you know, Kendrick Lamar's DNA, wanted to show different various artists and whatnot. But I'm like, you could have done a way better job. I don't know what this is. Like, what was that? You made people not even pay attention to the actual artist, and then you had a post talking about, oh, but did anyone say anything about Asian artists when they were being attacked, harassed? Like, basically that's what he's getting at. Here's my issue with that statement in itself. It's kind of like, how dare you? Not only is that an insult to black people, but that's an insult to other Asians in the US, in the UK, Canada, or anywhere else, even in China, Korea, Philippines, Thailand, Korea, Japan, whatever. Or I said that already. But that's an insult to Asians all over, because the fact that you're bringing them up as in defense to the wrong choices you've made, the insensitive comments you made of race, of having these people in the group. You did it as kind of like a defense, like you're throwing that in there. Oh, but did anybody? First of all, two rights don't make a wrong. Yeah, it's not right that people don't pay attention to people disrespecting Asians and being racist to them and harming them physically and causing them bodily harm. That's wrong in itself too. But the fact that you use that for fuel as like an argument against what you did, it's like, that's the disrespect to Asians. Like, I understand you creating a post in general about, oh, you need to stop Asian hate. People really need to support us. People really need to support us and stop this from happening. We need to stand together. But you made it to counter, like, as an argument of what you did currently, of the stuff you continue to do currently. So it's like, to me, that's just a disrespect. That's just a disrespect to Asians. That's a disrespect to black people. And I don't even know how you still even have a fan base. Like, I don't know. Like, someone needs to square up with you in the parking lot, to be honest. Because you show you have not learned your lesson. Okay, but that's all, folks. Like, subscribe. Have a nice day.